Morning everyone. I'm back on the beach in Bali here at Seminyak, having a walk. It's just on 6 a.m. starting to rise over there, and there's the ocean. It's fairly calm today. The beach is nice and clean, which is fantastic. Sometimes it gets bad in Bali and can get quite littered. We spent a week in the village and it was just fantastic. My wife had to come back to do ceremonies. We've been married for 16 years now, so well, that was part of the ceremonial stuff, which is very important in Balinese life. So now we're back here in Seminyak, where I have quite a few friends here. I lived here for 8 years, and I'm writing like mad. I'm actually writing 2 new books. I'm writing a sequel to Innis More, the Passage to Innis More, and at the moment it's called a working title of Return to Innis More, which sounds a bit boring. And it will probably change. The other one's called Blackfella, Whitefella. That's the story of a 38-year-old young Australian white fella who's sort of lost his way. He's, he doesn't know what he wants out of his life, and he's totally lost. And he meets a tiny little Aboriginal man, and very old, very ancient old man. And he's the second main character. And he's a blackfella, of course. Blackfella, whitefella terminology is used commonly in Australia, and particularly up in the bush. Like if you're talking to somebody up there and they'll, say he's an Aboriginal guy, he'll say, "That mate of yours, is he a white fella or a black fella?" So it took me a bit of getting used to, but that's how it is here. So we're having a great time, and I just love Bali. I've got a lot of friends here. I lived here for 8 years. And I'm doing a lot of writing, which is fantastic. When I get to Bali, I feel so utterly relaxed. And I just love writing here. I sit down and I'll go for hours and hours and hours. So we'll have something out soon. I'm putting out a newsletter too in the next, certainly within the next week for Christmas. And in that, we'll explain what's happening. Next year in particular, we're concentrating on getting the second website going. The first one is brianO'ReillyBooks.com. The second one is reasonsforbeing.com.au. That's all about helping people find the purpose in life, the calling. I do a lot of free work in that area, and a lot of free workshops to help people do that. I just love doing it, and it's part of my whole life, of course. It's my purpose in life. That's what it is. It's my calling, and I really love doing that. We do charge for some workshops, of course, but most of them are free, and as I say, because I just love doing it. So have a look at the newsletter and you'll get all that information. And also, if you do sign up for the newsletter, you'll find you get 2 free books. One is a book of poetry. It's the full poems from the book Passage to Innis More. The poems in that book are only sort of fractions of the actual poems. So have a look at that. The other book's about finding a purpose in life, how you actually, what that is all about, what calling is all about. People have a misguided, most people have a misguided conception of what calling is. They associate it with, the churches and all that. It's not that at all. The church can be a calling, of course, but there are many, many, many other callings in life, hundreds and hundreds of them, and we all have one. So look, check out the website, brianO'ReillyBooks.com. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, and we'll keep you informed about everything that is going on. Okay guys, I'll get about my morning walk.